and the omnibus. So I was forced into the Archers when I was a child. And look, it's come back to bite me later on. I'm awash with this stuff.
The Archers is the world's longest-running radio show, with more than 15,000 episodes broadcast. Despite being a rural flavor show, The Archers is recorded in the heart of...
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at something pretty intense. A small community facing a big problem.
Yeah, it's about how you handle the basics, like keeping a farm running.
When the only person available is, well, let's just say deeply problematic for some folks there.
Exactly. We've got these sources, snapshots really, from one very turbulent week.
It's like a pressure cooker. Necessity forces them to deal with someone they'd, frankly, rather forget.
And what we've got is this perfect condensed situation. High-stakes logistics for this family trip.
Yeah, Tom and Helen needing a break.
But it slams right into this unresolved history, this emotional debt between neighbors.
It shows how fast things unravel, doesn't it? When that trust is gone.
Completely gone. Decimated, you could say.
So our mission today really is to unpack that core tension.
Right.
How does needing farm cover force George Grundy, this controversial guy, back into the picture? And what happens immediately?
Yeah, the fallout. For him and for everyone else.
And the hook is just that sheer desperation, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Tom and Helen are exhausted. You read that they slept really badly.
Just turning it over and over in their minds.
They need this holiday, but the farm, it has to run.
Which forces them to consider the one person who, technically, is the best fit.
But emotionally, maybe the worst choice. George.
Okay, let's dig into that logistical crisis first. They're running on fumes, as you said.
Totally. The trip to Scotland is booked, parents expecting them, but no farm cover, no holiday. It's that simple.
And that's where George Grundy enters the frame.
He's the obvious choice, technically speaking.
Knows the place backwards, apparently a great worker.
And crucially, he needs the work. Needs to rebuild his life.
But Tom knows straight away, doesn't he? He admits it'll be controversial.
Right. They're desperate. That's the word Tom uses. It's the only reason George is even on the table.
But desperation doesn't just wipe the slate clean.
Not at all. And there's that specific detail in the sources, the limitation.
Ah, yes. He's banned from driving the tractor.
Which tells you so much, doesn't it, about the past incident. Even their best option is, well, compromise from the start.
Inherently risky.
And you see them wrestling with it. Helen's hesitant. Oh, Tom, I don't know. You can feel her reluctance.
But the pressure of the trip.
Yeah.
It's immense.
Yeah, the logistics sound like a nightmare. 2 people carriers.
Kate's friend Maggie gave them a discount, right?
But even so, Jakob's driving one. Strict 1 case limit per person.
Because the vans won't get up the first hill otherwise.
Exactly. That kind of practical pressure, it just forces their hand, at least initially. Necessity wins out over caution.
It's like battlefield triage, isn't it? Sacrificing emotional well-being for, well, just getting the job done.
That's a good way to put it. But the farm cover, that's only one part of George's attempt to reintegrate.
Right. There's the other thread. He's also trying to earn back trust somewhere else entirely.
At Susan's church shop, volunteering.
And this seems like a completely separate effort. A genuine attempt, maybe.
It reads that way. Susan, who runs the shop, she seems really encouraging, tells him, "It is nice to see you smile."
It sounds like the kind of place that should offer second chances. Church shop, community support.
You'd think so. But even there, the setting itself has this subtle undercurrent.
Ah, you mean the stuff about prepping for Mr. Mulligan's funeral?
Yeah. Alice suggests covering the goods with sheets.
Saying she doesn't think anyone would rob the shop during a funeral. Seems reasonable.
But then, immediately, she tells that story about the missing wall hanging.
Oh yeah, the embroidered seascape. With knitted fish and a felt treasure chest. Huge thing, apparently.
4 or 5 feet square, stolen during the Borsach Needlework Association exhibition.
So, even in this sort of community hub, trust is already fragile.
Precisely. It's not some innocent haven. There are issues. Meanwhile, George is getting the practical rundown from Alan. Health and safety.
No boxes and aisles, trip hazard. Wedge the side door open.
Because it bangs shut. And obviously no smoking. Basic stuff.
And Susan's showing him the shelving. Perishables here, washing up liquid there.
Yeah, and how to stock them properly. Closest sell-by date to the front. It's meticulous. Building structure.
And then there's that little moment about Remembrance Sunday.
That was interesting. Susan talking about her father, the army chaplain.
Passionate about Poppy Day. Saying a pound isn't much to ask to fight fascism.
And George connects with that. He remembers the chaplain from his time inside.
Says he was a decent bloke, helps with morale.
Yeah, that little exchange, it does a lot. It shows George has some insight, recognizes decency. It makes his whole attempt feel more, well, real.
But good intentions meet harsh reality pretty fast in a small place like this.
Oh, yeah.
Introducing the Archer's Mug, where elegance meets everyday comfort. Crafted from premium white ceramic, designed with vibrant peekaboo colors inside, simple, modern, and stylish. Start your day the Archer's way, with warmth, familiarity, and the comfort of voices you've come to love. As the stories unfold on the Archers, let this mug become part of your daily ritual, a small reminder of life in Ambridge. Practical for every home, dishwasher and microwave safe. Available in 2 sizes, 11 ounces and 15 ounces, designed to fit your lifestyle. Enjoy your favorite drink in a mug that connects you to Britain's most beloved countryside story, The Archers. For more information and to order your very own The Archers mug, follow the link below and make it part of your daily routine.
George is ready for his first customer, but he's shaken like a leaf.
And who walks in? Mick.
The stage is set, isn't it? Mick wants, what is it? Salted caramel protein bar.
Yeah, yes. Joy says they're healthier than crisps. Mundane stuff.
Susan directs him to George.
And bang, fuse lit.
Mick just refuses, flat out, demands Susan serves him.
Doesn't just refuse, he gets nasty. Calls George that waste of skin.
Scum, says, I'm not buying anything you've had your hands on. Vicious.
And then we get the reason. The raw nerve.
Yeah. Mick lays it bare. George's reckless driving nearly killed me and my joy.
Ah, so it's deeply personal. Not just general disapproval. Real trauma.
Makes any previous apology seem, well, totally inadequate from Mick's perspective.
George is crushed. He tries to say, oh, I've said sorry, but Mick just cuts him off.
No interest in hearing it.
But Susan steps up, doesn't she? That's quite something.
It really is. She's firm, demands common courtesy, says she runs the shop.
And when Mick still refuses?
She tells him to take his shopping elsewhere, chooses decency over a sale.
What about Alan, the church guy doing the safety briefing?
Nope, he stays out of it and calls it not church business.
Interesting. The institution steps back, but the individual manager steps forward.
Exactly. Susan stands her ground, uses her own authority, her own moral compass.
So Mick leaves. Furious, I imagine.
Yeah, insulted. And George is convinced he's just ruined everything for Susan. Ruined the business.
But she reassures him.
Completely. Says he did nothing wrong, tells him to get back to sorting the tins.
Stacking them. Closest date to the front.
Mm-hmm. That detail again, like she's saying, keep building. Keep doing the small things right.
And she offers him proper shifts.
Yes. Makes it clear, no special treatments, same as any other volunteer. It's a small victory for George, isn't it? Hard won. He found one person willing to stand up for him.
A really significant moment for him, maybe. But that small victory is about to be overshadowed, right? Back at the farm.
Yeah, Section 4 brings us right back to Tom and Helen. They need to check the emotional temperature about George doing the farm job.
Starting with Alice.
They're looking for, well, probably just enough acceptance to get by.
And Alice gives him the, okay, technically. Says she has no feelings about George Grundy either way. Not anymore.
Right. And she won't object because, logistically, he knows the farm.
But wait a second. They're desperate. They have the perfect worker who knows the place. And they're hesitating because of potential feelings. Even after Alice says she's okay.
It seems counterintuitive, I know. But think about small communities. Sometimes the fear of conflict is worse than the conflict itself. And Alice immediately follows up her okay with a warning. She might be fine, but the rest of the family.
They might go berserk because they're still very protective.
That's the killer line. She might claim no feelings, but the second she brings up family protectiveness, game over.
And Tom and Helen pick up on it instantly. They see through the words.
Tom straight up asks Helen. She was upset. She said she wasn't, and you believed her.
Helen's answer,
no. And then, Tom, we have to think again. Just like that. George is out.
based purely on anticipated emotional fallout. Alice's unspoken distress, or maybe just her need to signal that distress.
Practicality just evaporates, obliterated by emotional politics, as you said.
It's a shocking reversal when you think about their earlier desperation.
The concrete need for a good farmhand versus the abstract risk of upsetting the family. And the risk wins.
Shows that logistical need just can't compete with that deep-seated resentment.
Not in this case, anyway.
So, George is out. They need a new plan, fast. And where do they find it?
Oh, the irony is just perfect in a grim way. They run into Mick.
Mick, the guy who just tore into George at the shop.
The very same. They see him at the dairy. Mick's leaving. Helen asks to talk to him tomorrow.
No.
Yep. Helen then says to Tom, the answer was staring us in the face the whole time, or living next door anyway. It's perfect.
So, they're going to ask Mick, the guy who hates George with a passion.
The sources leave it just short of explicitly confirming it's Mick, but the implication is overwhelming. George is out. Mick is suddenly the perfect answer living next door.
Wow. Okay. So let's sum this up. We've seen George try to reintegrate on two fronts.
The shop and the farm.
He gets a small, fragile win at the shop, thanks entirely to Susan's sense of decency.
She really held the line there.
But he loses the big one, the farm jump. Not because he can't do it, but because of the fear of the emotional upset he represents.
And that's the key takeaway for you, listening. In these tight communities, forgiveness, reintegration, it's rarely just about practicalities.
It's intensely emotional.
Hugely. Need George's skills? Yes. Alice says she's okay. Yes. But the fear of family drama, that protective instinct, it trumps everything.
Even when you're desperately needed, your past can slam the door shut. Susan told George something interesting, that we don't always recognize angels, and they don't all have wings.
Yeah, a powerful line.
So if Susan's defense was George's angel in that moment, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What level of past mistake, worse even than George's reckless driving, would justify the entire community saying, no, absolutely not?
And who gets to make that final call, that judgment that decides if someone is allowed to even try and earn their way back?
Tough question with no easy answers. Something to think about.
So, what are you doing now?
Just getting ready for the next episode. Just moving mics around.
So, what do you do?
I do the spot effects on the arches. Any
Are you what we call Foley then?
Kind of. Yep.
Okay. And these are all part of the paraphernalia of production.
Yep. That's the ball bar. That's
this one.
Yep. That's.
Haley so wanted to be in their own place when their baby came. It's due in 2 months. Not much chance of that now. No. I mean, it would have been a stretch for them financially, mind, but I just wish there was something practical I could do to help them, Caroline. I think The Archers has had this immense popularity over the years, basically because it has always very accurately reflected the reality of life and living in a rural community at whatever